Good morning. My name is Rachel, and I am a thrifty crocheter. And today is Thursday, October the 2nd. Oops, I forgot to change my calendar over. October the 2nd. Multiple of 8 stitches plus 7. To me, it looks like it almost has a basket weave sort of look to it. Maybe. I don't know. Something to that effect, anyway. 365 days of kindness. Having too much. When a young man heard this statement, he went away grieving, for he was one who owned much property. Matthew 19:22. Wealth is rarely what we hope it is. The more we have to lose. Jesus wanted the rich man to have a compassionate heart, one that was willing to give up what he had for the sake of the kingdom. To do so, he would have needed to give up the life he was accustomed to. Before asking God to bless you with wealth, ask him to bless you with a heart of giving. Thank him for giving you more than enough. Ask him to help you to be content with what you have and to think more of others. Bring generosity and compassion into your heart and hands. Act of kindness. Donate to charity. I know I've done that a lot over the years, or we go through our closets and go through our belongings and decide, okay, I don't wear this, I don't wear that, or when the girls were growing up, oh, they grew out of this, they grew out of that, or they don't play with this anymore, and we would donate stuff to charity all the time. That's always a really, really good thing. And that's how people like me get yarn. I go to thrift stores and buy the yarn because you guys donated it. So, and we're all very, very welcome for it. Because that's how we make such beautiful, lovely things. Daily guideposts for grandmothers. October the 2nd. Always seek after that which is good for one another and for all people. 1 Thessalonians 5:15. When I rediscovered the wonderful childhood poem, The Cupboard, by Walter de la Mare in an old poetry book, I had no idea what fun it would become for my 5-year-old grandson, Caleb, and me. We were visiting my son in his new home. Phil had, to a child's mind, a, quote, portal to another kingdom, unquote, in his kitchen. A tall white cupboard in which he stockpiled just about every kind of candy there is. Caleb would have cleaned them out if I hadn't declared, I am in charge of the cupboard. I have a small, fat grandmama, I quoted, with a very slippery knee, and she's keeper of the cupboard with the key. And when I'm very good, my dear, as good as can be, there's Banbury cakes and lollipops for me. I even had a small key with which I pretended to open the cupboard door. Caleb, catching the spirit, eyes gleaming, recited, when I'm very good as can be, every time he thought he should have a treat. Inserting the names of the goodies in Phil's stash, he'd say, there's cherry twists and jelly beans for me. Engaging our imaginations, Caleb and I created a great memory with that poem in my son's candy cupboard. The poem focused us on kindness and goodness in our daily interactions, because the secret of the cupboard isn't the key or the candy. The secret is in what really opens the cupboard door. Jesus, your goodness and kindness imparted to me open eternal treasures to which you hold the key. Carol Knapp. That was fun to read. Yes, it was. That was very, I really liked the little poem and how you actually open the cupboard. You know, it's not really with a key, but what the key message is to be kind and helpful and all that kind of positive stuff in order to actually open the cupboard to get to as the candy as a reward for your kindness and goodness. I like that. And it's another sunny day. Another sunny. And this week it's gonna be in the 80s, like mid 80s and upper 80s, and it's October. That's wonderful. Wonderful and weird at the same time. The illustrated words of Jesus for women. Critical words. You brood of vipers, how can you who are evil say anything good? For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. Matthew 12:34. This is Jesus talking to the Sadducees and Pharisees. Jesus just had cast a demon out of a man, yet the Pharisees criticized him. They claimed he got his power from Satan. Their critical words came from hearts that were filled with anger, fear, and jealousy. Yes, they were. All the Pharisees and Sadducees they were the religious zealots of the day, and they were just, they hated Jesus. They disrespected him. They wanted nothing to do with him. They were just very jealous of him. And they knew that they had the Roman Empire in their pocket. Yep. Anyway, back to this. The emotions you are harboring in your heart will eventually show in the words you speak. That is so very true. I'm going to read that again. The emotions you are harboring in your heart will eventually show in the words you speak. So be careful how you talk. Because trust me, I've always said, and I've always heard it said, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. That is so true. If you listen to yourself talk, listen to other people talk, you can hear emotion. Yes, you can see it in their face, but you can also hear it even if you're just talking to them on a phone. You can hear it in their voice. Even if, and sometimes even if you're talking to them face to face, even if they're not showing the right emotion, you can hear it and still hear it in their voice. You can hear emotions in a person's voice, and you can see it in a person's face. Okay. They will come out eventually. Okay, yes. In Psalms, David asks God to search his heart and to make it clean. Everyone needs to ask God to do that once in a while. Yes, everyone needs to ask God to do that once in a while. Yes, we do. And that's me included. I mean, we all need God to come out and help us, help our hearts, our minds, clear our hearts and minds, and to make things right again. We just need God to come back to the world. We need Jesus to come back to this world, because this world is an awful mess. And it was an awful mess when I got this book, and it's still an awful mess. And it's been an awful mess for centuries. All right, and then I add, my face can't help it. My feelings always show on my face. Yes, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Yeah. I try to hide it, but it's hard. I need to learn to do better. I do. I need to learn to do better, but I can't. I'm one of those people who, even if I don't tell you I'm mad, you could tell I'm mad. Either by the look at my face or how I'm talking to you, you know exactly how I'm feeling. No matter what feeling it is. And it's like, I can't help it. That's who I am. and finishes with, the Lord said to Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. This is talking about David and Goliath, because Goliath was huge, monstrous of a person, and Daniel was like this little kid, and of course, not Daniel, David. David was this little kid, and he had a wonderful heart, and he loved the Lord, he loved God, and of course, David killed Goliath. Not only killed him with that stone, but then he went with Goliath's own sword. And it has a pretty big sword, too. So, anyway. This small swatch of yarn has been woven with prayers. As you hold this swatch in your hand, may you feel God's strength, love, and peace flow and know that He holds you in His hands. And may God bless and comfort you in your time of need and give you peace. Amen. Love y'all. Bye.